Welcome everybody. It's Shohag, and today I have a special guest, which is really good because he's a football lover. We can say he's a really loves Pep because Pep is a football magician. We can say because he discovered Lionel Messi, like big stars. Now, recently we can talk about Phil Foden because Phil Foden is one of the talented guy. So it's discovered by Pep. It's no doubt, but he's a genuine Manchester City fan. It's Bokang. Welcome, Bokang. It's a fast show, and you are our guest, so it's really good to see you. And I have so many questions for you, but before that,
Okay.
first, I want to ask you about World Cup qualifier match. The not last night that was tragedy for Italy, and the before last
Mm,
day that was for Portugal. What do you think? Who's gonna
yeah.
qualify, Portugal or Italy? Like generally, I will go the next question because Italy
Oh, that's
2018 World Cup they missed, but they've won Euro. But what happened last night? Can you share your thought?
oh. It's very difficult. It's very difficult. I think Portugal should have made sure that they qualified, and not leave it this late. Because Italy are a strong team, very strong team. They have, I think, 30 or 32 matches unbeaten run.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's not easy to beat Italy. It's not easy at all. A lot have tried, but most of them have failed. That's why they won the Euros this year. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. That's all I
But
can say.
but if I say you one thing, in World Cup qualifier, the only three teams can advance from the World Cup qualifier playoffs because Portugal they have to play now. They have to play playoff. Italy, Poland, Sweden, Russia, Scotland, Wales, North Macedonia, Austria, and Czech Republic. Do you think which three teams can advance in the World Cup from this huge pact? Italy, we know the Italy about we know this Euro they have proved again, and Portugal we know Ronaldo, Diego Jota, Bernardo Silva, Bruno Fernandes, Pep, so many
Of course,
players,
of course.
and Poland we know Robert Lewandowski. No, not he's one of the best striker now. And we know
Mm.
Sweden, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He always claim he's the god of football. You know, so
Mm.
Russia is promising team. So which three teams can advance?
I think you already mentioned those three. Um, I think Italy will go through. Italy is a strong team and they will have to step up. Italy and Portugal, they will have to step up. They have very big players in their squad, and this is the time where they have to step up and show their experience. They are playing in the highest level of football. They're playing on top of the world. These are the best players we're talking about here. And these people are the ones who deserve to be playing in the World Cup. So I think this is where they have to mature up and they have to step up. They have to do all the dirty work. They have to grind out results. Even if it's a 1-0 win, they have to grind out the results. That's
But
all I'm saying.
but I I,
So
I but I
but
have been.
when it comes to
Yeah,
when
sure,
it
sure.
comes to
Carry on.
Poland, I'm really not sure because those teams are reliant on one or two stars. But you look at that Italy and Portugal, it's just full of stars. It's full of Champions League winners. People who we can say that they deserve to be in the best team in the world right now. So for Sweden or Poland, I don't know. They can be a disappointment. They can be a disappointment because if their biggest stars don't perform, then it's all gonna come crumbling down.
So
Yeah.
what was the Euro like? What was the misconception? Like I can say misconception from Italy teams. Did they play bad?
Mhm.
No. What was wrong with Italy? What that North Ireland they didn't. That was draw. That was North Ireland was like beast. The whole team was beast because they were thinking that we are not going to win against Italy, but we won't be able to concede. They didn't concede, not Ireland. So that was horror.
Mm.
Italy was 72%. 72%, and attack 12. That was shots on target 6. Frederick Chiesa, we know, but they didn't score. And what was there? Is there any mistake from Jorginho? He missed the penalty against Switzerland, and that was maybe another match. Jorginho missed 2 penalties in World Cup qualifiers. Is these 2 penalties now they have to suffer? They have to play for playoffs. Is 2 penalties a reason? Do you think?
Oh, you can say something, no? It's a penalty. I understand it's an important one. It was a very important one. Jorginho has never missed a penalty for Chelsea. You know, I think he scored 17 of them. So
Yeah, in a row, 8.
Penalty. Yeah, not for Chelsea. It's a lot of them. You know, so he's the best penalty taker in that team, and sometimes it doesn't go your way. You know, you look at I like the example you made. Look at Italy. You know, Jorginho 90th minute penalty. You know, he missed that. You look at Portugal, same thing happened to them. You know, they conceded on the 89th or 90th minute, and it can happen in football. It can happen. So this is where the teams have to go back. You know, they have to really work hard in training.
Okay. I got your point, but my question also for Portugal, not only for Italy. Portugal, is there any Portugal didn't qualify for World Cup, but everybody was thinking Portugal is definitely they are going to qualify, no doubt. Group A, right? There was no doubt, but we see this is football, that you cannot make sure anything without performing on the field, on the pitch. So Portugal, is there did the mistake from Ronaldo or Fernando Santos, the starting lineup? Was there a substitute mistake? What do you think?
It's tough because you have to put all your star players there, you know, the people you trust, you know. Ronaldo is the highest scoring footballer we've ever seen in the world.
Yeah, it's true.
You cannot leave him out. Yeah, you cannot just put Jota in because he's the younger guy, he's more versatile, you know. Maybe he can do a whole lot more than Ronaldo can do now, but Ronaldo is a proven goal scorer. He still does it at Manchester United even today. So, you know, maybe it is in the lineup. It's very difficult because when you have big, huge stars like Ronaldo in the team, you know, they can score goals, but you know the work rate and the ethic in the team when we're playing the match, you know, sometimes it's not up there. You know, he cannot run down, he cannot chase players, he cannot chase the ball, he cannot press.
But Bernardo Silva, after the match, he was in press conference, not press conference, he also tweeted that I wanted to substitute because I wasn't playing good at his level, what he played for City. You know, he can play number 6, number 8, number 9, number false. He can play every role, but he wanted to substitute. So, is there any mistake from not team? Is there any mistake on formation, starting 11, substitute? Fernando Santos, is there a blunder for Ronaldo or Fernando Santos? We can.
I think they probably worked on this, you know. The manager knew what he wanted from the players and maybe he couldn't get the results done, you know. He practiced on something, maybe he tactically they had the advantage, maybe he knew he wanted to put a lot of crosses in, Cancelo he was like, you know, maybe tactics just went wasn't that day. That's all I can say. Maybe it just wasn't that day. Because I think Portugal should have won that match. I think they have the players to win matches, you know. So they needed a stroke of luck in that day. They really needed a stroke of luck.
Yeah, we also hope Portugal, Italy, these two teams needs to qualify World Cup. Then we can see the excitement World Cup. I have also another question for you. And what last few days there is so many transfers, not players, about football managers. Like we have seen sacked, and it still is ongoing about the big sack, big discussion about Ole, because it's nothing. It's not happening. But the United fans, community United fans, I'm listening all of the times. The Manchester United fans, they're talking Ole is gonna sack, but nothing is happening. We know the football transfer when it's coming, so it's from Fabrizio Romano, but he's also talking Manchester United board doesn't want, there still is wants Ole and still wants to ongoing with Ole and until end of the season. So
Mhm.
I'm going to ask you that Frank Lampard, it was talking to Norwich City, but finally Dennis Smith, he has been appointed as a Norwich City manager. So what do you think? Aston Villa sacked him after 8 days or maybe 7 days later. Norwich City appointed him. What do you think about also Steven Gerrard to Aston Villa and Eddie Howe to Newcastle United? Who can do better?
Mm. Maybe the board at Norwich were they were probably thinking maybe we don't need to be experimental right now. Maybe we need a manager with the experience, to keep us in the Premier League because it's very competitive down there. And maybe they thought Dean Smith was the man to keep them up, and maybe he can bring his expertise because Dean Smith, he has been around, so
Yeah,
he knows what's needed, and maybe he can manage the players better. Maybe Frank Lampard would be a little bit of a risk because you don't know what you're getting with him. His CV is not yet he doesn't have a lot under his belt. So maybe they were thinking we need someone experienced, someone who can just you know lay the groundwork and just keep us afloat. Yeah. But as for Stevie G, I'm happy. Stevie G he's been very consistent.
and for
He,
Rangers.
yeah, Stevie G and Xavi, they are those managers who they started from the bottom. They're
Yeah,
trying to work themselves their way to the top. So I
you
am
can
very
like
proud of him. And
you can trust them. They can build.
yeah,
They can give you something that you expect.
that's what I'm saying.
But
Because
what do you
he's
think?
gone there.
Newcastle, Eddie Howe, he got the appointment, and will he do better than Steven Gerrard and Steven Gerrard to Aston Villa and Eddie Howe to Newcastle? Like, who can be a better, who can prove better, and who can at least a long time?
I don't know, but I have no idea. I have no idea, but maybe Aston Villa are in a better shape than
Yeah,
Newcastle.
maybe their project is for a
So
long time. That's why they have got Steven Gerrard.
yeah, and also maybe they don't need a lot of
Let's keep another
maybe a
one
lot
in
of.
Premier League club. Let's keep another one. Ole. What do you think about Ole? What's your opinion about just normal opinion about Ole? Do you think after Liverpool match he has won an away match in Spurs 3-0 and then again Old Trafford he lost 3-0,
Yeah.
2-0, sorry, 2-0 against Derby.
Mhm.
But still United is not considering to sack him. Still United wants to stay with him. So what's your
Of
simple
course.
opinion like as a fan, as a City
You
fan?
know, if I'm gonna explain it in two ways. Okay,
Yeah,
two ways.
sure.
Yes, the first way. Ole came in after Jose Mourinho, right? And the environment was very bad. Players didn't want to play for the manager. The dressing room was frantic. So
Yeah,
when he came in, he brought that togetherness. He brought in young players. He made them feel like this is a club where they can improve and become the world's best. And his results show that because if we were to pull up the league table from 2018 and then the 19 one and the 21, you can see he finished third and he finished second.
yeah,
So with that said, that's a successful manager. That's a successful manager. Because if you look at it from that perspective, that's a very successful manager. Because he's always up there. He is always up there. When Chelsea was spending, everyone was spending. They didn't spend anything, but he was always up there.
yeah,
But here comes to the second perspective. That's just the statistical part. Now, as a football fan, as someone who watches soccer every weekend, when you watch United play, it's always there's a stroke of luck. Oh, they saved the day. Oh, it's just something happened. Something happened. So, but now you're seeing that they really like the quality to be competing for that, the Premier League title, even if they may be second. but that doesn't mean that they could win the title,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
then they are second because they have 14 points gap. They are third because there was 10-point gap or something. You see what I'm saying? They have never closed that gap down, and they still aren't doing that. That's the problem.
But
It's trying to improve. They didn't improve this season. I don't think they improved at
but
all.
do you think?
So for the board, let me answer your question now. So for the board to keep him, the board members are looking at the statistics, and statistically speaking, he has been successful. I know he doesn't have any trophies right now, but he has been successful because he's been third and second in the league. So Wi-Fi a manager was this second how many months ago? 5 months ago. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, after
So
Alex Ferguson, there was David Moyes, Luis Van Gaal, and Mourinho. Then Ole come. So, but my question is that: do you think for Manchester United is this satisfaction? Like you are Premier League point table number 2, you have qualified, like you have played semi-final in Champions League. Is this acceptable? You haven't won any trophy. Can Manchester United fans accept this kind of manager? Okay, he's a legend. We know he's a former Manchester United player. That's why maybe you can consider. But as a Manchester United manager, you need to prove and you need to win a trophy. It doesn't matter, right? So Ole is not winning any trophy, but Ole got 3-year contract extension. Always we have talked about this one, but City gave Pep 2-year, and Chelsea last year took own UCL, but after that they won 2 years, not 3 years. So I don't know Ole how he deserved. Like Ole is Manchester United board is still there considering him staying, not sacking. So as a United manager without trophy, do you think they can like stick with this kind of manager? But we can see that it doesn't matter. But you are losing the match, big matches. If you lost match against Aston Villa, okay, it's fine. Fan can accept. Sometimes it's ridiculous thing is happening. But if you lost the Manchester Derby, if you lost against Liverpool, humiliating. That was hammer. That's Manchester United fans cannot accept in home ground. So you have got what I mean. So do you think this kind of stuff is ongoing with Ole? Is this acceptable?
Yeah, to answer that one, clubs are different. They have different structure. So if you look at the structure at Manchester United and what they're looking for, it's very different from what Manchester City is looking for. It's very different from how Chelsea do it.
Yes, sure.
Let me explain what I mean. Manchester United are looking for the new Alex Ferguson. When Alex Ferguson came to the league, he came, I think that was 86. So he was not the winning manager. He also still had to fight relegation and everything. He had to have some time, 3-5 year period, before then he got to be the winning. So for United, the board, they are looking for that. They are seeing that in Ole, saying, okay, Ole is always second. He's always at least up there. Maybe he's getting there. He needs more time for him to be the next Alex Ferguson, who's going to stay there for 20 years, which is a very, very different philosophy from how Chelsea go about things. Because if you don't win something in Chelsea, first season, first 12 months, 6 months.
Wait a second. I'm adding one thing. I'm adding with you one thing. I agree. But I'm adding one thing that after 3 years, almost 3 years, Ole in charge as a United manager. After 3 years, still he considered as a midfielder Fred and McTominay. Is this like I don't know if you look Liverpool midfield, if you look City, if you look Chelsea, is this acceptable? Not acceptable. Is this like can you adjust these things like City midfield, Chelsea midfield, and you can compare with Manchester United midfield? Ole still is stick with Fred and McTominay always every single match. I don't know why you have bought, you have spent Jadon Sancho, like last summer, he have spent 100 million pound over, but still they bought Donny van der Beek. That guy, he was like one of the like best midfielder for Ten Hag and Ajax, but still here is he's bench always. So I don't know what's going on. What do you think? Like that's what I wanted to add with you.
Um, well, if we're talking about the players, I think Manchester United have a lot of quality players, a lot
Of
of quality.
course, no doubt.
Not even quality players, they have a lot of stars in that team, a lot of stars, players that can really perform. Well, I think that tactically, maybe the manager is not getting it right, or maybe there's a misunderstanding between the players or getting the message across. United, they always lack that something. They lack that. They lack that. They just look like runner-ups. They're playing like runner-ups because they are not as sharp as United. They're not sharp as City, as Liverpool or as Chelsea. They're not as sharp as that. So I think that maybe this is the manager because the players there are they're just quality. They have World Cup winning players. World Cup winning players. They have 5-time Champions League.
Also, there is big business.
So what I'm telling you is
There's a big
what
business.
I'm telling you
Paul
is that
Pogba, when he plays United, we don't know who is Pogba. When he played for France, oh, that's a world-class player. That's a world-class midfielder, right?
exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. To even Aaron what you're saying, they have experience, right? They have talent. So what more do they need? They just need the manager who can get it right, and they can be a really 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 good team. They even have youngsters. You look
Yeah.
at Greenwood and
Mason
everything. So
Greenwood.
they have all the underperforming. They just look like average players. Only both they start in the league. You look at it with big star in France. This one, people were, but before now, somewhere there, 25, 24, and for that's back again. You know, you look at Rashford. It's the same thing with Rashford. Rashford came into the league, and we thought, okay, is one. He's an average striker. Just average.
Okay,
Always
it was really good, but we don't know what's happening. But after Manchester City derby, Ole got a vacation, so that was okay. We don't know what he's coming. But for the last question for you, Manchester United, for Manchester United. Sorry, there was something wrong in online internet. So my question for about Manchester United, the last question: if Manchester United board the next match for Manchester Watford, they are going to play against Watford. If they lose against, I think United must sack Ole, no doubt, if they lose. Because if you see they lost against Liverpool and then they have owned Atlanta, that was totally for credit for Ronaldo. Because we know he always done, he always deliver. So again, after that, they have owned LMS, but again, Old Trafford they lost. So again, if they lost again, Watford. So my question is that if you can sack him after Watford match, why not City match? Why not?
One thing you have to understand, like I told you, I know it's a game, but it all boils down to 3 points. Did you get the 3 points? For the game and the Liverpool game, they were too outplayed. They were totally outplayed, and it's fighting for points because they just lost 6 huge points. They just lost those 6 huge points. So for Watford, they have to win. They really have to win. They even have more than that. Even if they were to draw and come away with 1 point, I think it's still to show reaction after that City loss. The
Yeah.
aggressiveness. Say this is where it stops. We have to play better than this. So if Ole stays, I don't expect to, but the board is still hoping one to turn around things around. But yeah, it, maybe the time has come.
Okay, man. It's a lot of we have talked about Ole, but hope we see. We also want Ole is gonna stay because every fans are chanting at Old Trafford, Ole is at a whale. So we also want Ole is gonna stay. So it's good for opponents, but it's not a good for United fans. But let's see.
Let's see what will happen.
my I have another question for you that's extraordinary because we have seen last few days that there was manager get a new manager, appointment new manager. So let's go and Spanish teams, Barcelona. What do you think, Javi, the new manager, and he also brought Dani Alves. So don't you think Sergio Busquets, Gerardo Pique, Jordi Alba, and Sergio Roberto, is these guys aren't enough to lead the dressing room on the field of the field? Why you need to bring Dani Alves? We know that Xavi has proven a lot in Qatar, but we know he can do better. But my question is the why Dani Alves? He's 38 age this year.
Of course, and he's won everything. He's very well celebrated. He's been incredible.
Consistent. The best thing is he's consistent.
So I don't know. I don't know why he got him back, but maybe tactically he wants to attack more. Maybe he wants to push up the wings. Maybe he wants to play a wing back system. We don't know yet. So maybe he needs someone who can go up and down that right flank a lot. And we all know Dani Alves was very 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 good at that.
We
So
know.
maybe he's still looking for.
We know, with Dani Alves, it doesn't matter age. With Ronaldo, it doesn't matter age. With Messi, it doesn't matter age. We can see Luka Modric, what a player. Like, it doesn't matter about age because they have experience and always they can perform for national, for your country and club. So we have seen Dani Alves has played with Xavi, Iniesta, Lionel Messi. There was spectacular goals, assists, and the defensive and attacking way. My question, we know that Dani Alves, but Dani Alves again returned. Something is not wrong. Why not Messi? You couldn't kept him, Messi, and you brought Dani Alves again. So is there something wrong that?
Come on, guys. I know Messi he's a very big player. Very very big player. That's his home. That's his home.
He also always he was saying, I never wanted to leave Barca.
But maybe it's good. I think it's good for him is there because then he can try new ventures. What he's doing at PSG. But as for Dani Alves, what's my biggest worry? What's my biggest worry? My biggest worry is that how will he adjust back to the high level of football? Because as your age goes, you start playing in the lower leagues. You keep going away and away and away. Your legs keep going. You can't run as fast anymore. If he was to be playing in the Champions League, against ruthless teams, he cannot afford to be making mistakes. He needs to be closing down players. So he needs to be very, very sharp. So at that age, your body is no longer as fast as your mind. So that's my biggest worry. How just coming back to the elite competitions. That's my worry. But hopefully it works out.
Okay, got it. Okay, let's go. Real Madrid, Barcelona. We hope Javi can do better thing. Let's go Real Madrid. What about Eden Hazard? The best question about. What about Eden Hazard? He's back on training. He missed 2 matches in Belgium for injury. There was Alex Witsel. He said after after last match. There was tweet I have seen it on Twitter. So what about Eden Hazard? Real Madrid should wait another one season or 2 seasons.
My question is he injured again? That's my only question. Again, is he playing? Is he playing again? You know,
what should Real Madrid? What should do Real Madrid to see the Chelsea Hazard at Real Madrid? What do you think? Like, what should do Real Madrid?
For some players, it's just not easy adapting to a new place, new environment, new weather, different type of football, So it's not easy. So maybe it just doesn't work out for him in Spain. It just doesn't,
Like same things we have seen at Barcelona. We have seen at Barcelona, Felipe Coutinho from Liverpool to Barcelona and Ousmane Dembele Dortmund to Barcelona. Is still there struggling to get back the right form, the way we always want to see these guys. So is that like same?
And to add on to that, another thing is that, every manager has their own way of training. So we've seen different managers come through the door at Real Madrid and at Barcelona, but these players are still injured. So maybe it's just not happening. The environment is not right for them, because if this manager does training this way and that one does training the other way, but you're still injured, that means that the environment is just not good for you. So I think a transfer is what he needs to salvage his career, because he's 31, and he was on top of the world when he left, and the same thing with Gareth Bale, it's the same thing with Gareth Bale.
Yeah,
today he's still an injury-prone player, He can play, but you cannot trust him to always be there, So
also I have another two Real Madrid players, Isco and Luka Jovic. Luka Jovic, when he was playing for an Bundesliga team Frankfurt, he was like top scorer in Europa League. And we know the Isco. This guy was like absolutely fabulous footballer. Like I can say now was, because we cannot see Isco is playing. He was playing for Zidane. No more, not much. In Ancelotti, not, because Camavinga, he has come and he got the place, and Fede Valverde had Modric, Toni Kroos, they're consisting, and defensive midfielder Casemiro is enough. So what's going to happen with Isco and Luka Jovic? What do you think? Like
it's difficult because Real Madrid are the dream team, for any player. So when you go there, you are expected immediate. You're expected to be the man. You're not expected. Real Madrid are not a team that will take you and mold you and try to make you the perfect player. They take you and expect you to be. They give you the biggest stage and say, win this, do this, do this. So for players like Luka Jovic, I think they went to Real Madrid too soon. He went there too soon. He was still young, too soon. So he needed time. He needs time to become that big player. Look at look at Lukaku. How long did it take Lukaku to reach this elite level? He had to go through United. He had to go through Chelsea, West Brom, everything before he could go to Chelsea and become the main man. That's him now. So as for Isco, Real Madrid have way too many players in middle field, and he has to fight his way. He has to because he had a little bit of falling out with Zidane. But this is a new chance, and he has to perform. He has to show that he's still that very clever, clever player who can pass along and play along and near the box.
Okay. But For club questions, I have another two, not two, just only one about club, and then we'll back the country question about the club. Do you prefer, who would you prefer above end of the season at the point table, Arsenal or Spurs? Spurs got a new manager and Arsenal back on track. So who would you
Or who
prefer?
do I think? Who's going to be above the other one? It's going to be very tight. It's going to be very tight. It depends on how Antonio Conte
You
works.
know, after City game, Arsenal is still consisting. They're winning away home, away home. So
Definitely.
at Spurs, they got the new manager Anthony Conte. We know he has proven everywhere. So who would you prefer?
I don't know. I don't know. I think let's talk about this in January after the transfer.
Okay, let's go. Okay, let's move national team. We know Germany. We know about Hansi Flick. This is too difficult. This is clear, you know. But we have seen England. Have you seen England last two games? Have you seen last two games England?
I know I've seen it, but Germany will win the World Cup. That's all I can.
How do you? Well, how do you think that Germany will win World Cup over England? We have seen England have so many potential players and so many talented guys, and we know the Harry Kane, we know Sterling, we know Phil Foden, we know Saka, we know midfield, we know Trent Arnold, we know Reece James, and defense Harry Maguire and John Stones, Terry Mings, and Luke Shaw, Kai Walker. We haven't talked about Kai Walker. You know, there is midfield. Calvin Phillips still is promising.
Oh, yes, yeah. I don't want to be biased, but it's just a way for how Hansi Flick does things. He doesn't matter how old you are. Look at Thomas Muller. He's always performing.
Yeah, we know Germany. Thomas Muller is playing with Philipp Lahm, and this guy is beast. This guy is playing for a long time. He still looks like he's young, and he's performing. Oh, still maybe he's 20 years old.
Remember, he still won the Champions League with Kevin Boateng. Jerome Boateng, sorry. And he even returned the center of the defense. So with him, I cannot say it's the age, but it's just how he does things. They just score goals, they just score goals. So first match, and he's scoring nine.
And England scored 10 yesterday.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I saw that.
In a row, Harry Kane last match he got hat trick, and last match the day before match he got the hat trick, and the last match he got 4. So Harry Kane performed. So Harry Kane has come back.
Harry Kane is an elite striker. It's just a shame what's happening to his career. He's up there.
So, did you yesterday? Last night, did you see the difference England formation and the way England always attacking? I was watching the match, and England, like Albania, wasn't like that team. We know that we couldn't expect that Albania is gonna pressure on England. No, but the way England pressure and the way England played the game, that was the question. That was the like you can talk about this kind of game. You can talk about this kind of player that really knows the football. And Gareth Southgate has done something for England for a long time. The way there was 3-4-3 formation, 3-4-3, and Trent was wow. He never thought about defensive. He was always attacking. Do you think if Southgate can continue with this formation in World Cup, is there better expectation than Euro?
I'm not sure, because it's all good when you attack. It's another thing when you have to defend against a Germany or Portugal or even Belgium, something a team. So with Southgate, what makes him the greatest English manager right now for the national squad? You know what? It's because he's always been preservative. He's not about that fast pace, fast passing, fast everything, football, trying to score 10 goals. He's never been about that. He's always been, okay, let's just hold the ball. When the opportunity comes, let's score a goal. You know, that's what made them go to the final in the Euros. You know, he's always been preservative. Let's not concede goals. That's just it. Don't concede goals. So when
Yeah,
he's now attacking, I'm not sure what's going to happen when they have to defend against a very, very good team. But this is a good start. It's a good start because it's showing England's potential. Because they have some really, really amazing young talent. They are the biggest team in the next 10 years. You know, they have the biggest one.
no doubt, no doubt. It's absolutely.
Because they're playing in the biggest league, of course, you know, the most
True.
demanding.
And all of the players is playing for the big clubs.
Yeah, you know. So I think that he has to win something for this English team. They have to win something because the last time England won something, I think that's maybe 15, 20 years ago. The last time England won something, or even came to the final of something. So they have to be backing him up right now. He will take them all the way. He will.
Okay, for the last question for you, by the way, if you enjoy the video, subscribe to the channel will be Lionel Messi, because tomorrow it's coming, Brazil versus Argentina, and Argentina is going to start with Lionel Messi, but Brazil, Neymar is out from Brazil squad. So what's your prediction? Who's going to win? You know, Brazil has qualified for Qatar World Cup, and Argentina is consisting there maybe 29 games or maybe 19. Maybe I have made mistake. Argentina haven't lost after the Martinez Aston Villa goalkeeper, so they haven't lost any game. What's your score prediction and who's gonna win?
Let's start with Messi. You know, there's no rush for him to come back. You know, there's really no rush for him to come back. I don't think this match is important because Brazil have qualified, Argentina have qualified. You know, so this match is not that important. He doesn't need to rush his injury back. Maybe he needs to watch his video, go back to PSG, and you know, try to get the ball rolling. But I always think Brazil can win.
But you know the squad. Brazil is a squad.
It's very impressive, very very impressive. You know, from the defender, from the goalkeepers to the striker.
Yeah,
you know?
we know that they're like substitute goalkeeper Ederson, Alisson. They played big club. And defensive, Thiago Silva, Marquinhos, left back, right back, midfield, yeah, Fabinho, Casemiro, and you can talk so many players. And Roberto Firmino, he's injured, we know, but Felipe Coutinho, he's Rapina, he's playing for Leeds United, and Richarlison, so many players. Let's see tomorrow. So thank you for giving your time, and see you next time.
Of course.
Yeah.
See you next time. Bye.
See you.